Why, hello, human beings. How you doing today? Sendou here, and thank you for visiting my channel. I know I'm going to be kind of late on this, but the Marvel Rivals 40K tournament is the biggest drama in gaming when it comes down to the hero shooters. Now, me, I usually play Paladins. Never play Overwatch actually, and I play a couple games of Marvel Rivals. Mantis being my main character. When I do play, I'm not competitive in the game, but I want to look at it. I do want to look at CeCe apology, and get in the mindset of playing other sports competitively. Like I play basketball, I got into bowling competitively. So if I bring up a lot of bowling reference, you know, you gotta forgive me. And I actually play TCG games, particularly Vanguard, Cardfight Vanguard. I used to play that competitively. Matter of fact, came in third place in 2019 team tournament. So I saw a little bit here and there, but I do want to go ahead and get into the video looking at this apology. I understand people do apologize, and a lot of people is usually iffy about certain apologies, but we're going to look at her reasoning. And yes, I'm not going to go over the drama that Kingsman go out and everything. I will put his video in the description as long as CeCe video in the description. And I found this with Gara of the Rage and Klutzy King. So I'll put their channel in the description too. But I just want to go ahead and get into the video with CeCe with her apologies. So we're going to go ahead and check it, and I'm just going to give my output on it. So I'm not going to try to get mad about it. I saw the full thing, but I want to go ahead and put in my 2 cents, if you don't mind, into it. So we're going to watch the whole thing so we don't take nothing out of context. So I will go ahead and react to it.
I'm making this video in response to Kingsman's video and also to all the chatters that are going to come in and ask questions again. I'm just going to direct you to this, and it's the last time I'm going to speak about it. I'll be addressing any allegations or anything that's not true, as well as I included a clip that Kingsman left out in his conversation with Entei, because Kingsman thought it was like rage bait or something, but Entei took the words right out of my mouth. Like, I could not have phrased it better, and if you take it from a third-party perspective, you might be able to digest it a little better.
Well, I am a third party into this. I saw what happened. Going to be real with you. You went and attacked Kingsman. You went and say shut the f up. You try to prove that you could play a character. And if I'm not mistaken, Kingsman is a diamond. And to be looking at it, if I had a diamond on the squad that is good, who is actually carrying the team, I'm going to listen to the cat and say, okay, what you want me to do? I got you, so on and so forth. To look at the whole entire video that you did, it was actually very insulting. It became so insulting that you actually did the harm of girl gamers into the community. And I can tell you right now, he been very polite with you. And I can tell you right now, I know 2 girls that play competitive games in my friend group, and I'm going to tell you right now, they will destroy you and insult you so bad that y'all probably will be crying. I'm just keeping it real. They don't like to lose, despite if it's 40K or not. They don't like to lose. And for you to go ahead and insult Kingsman that you chose to be on your squad, and to go ahead and insult him and all that stuff, girl, I'm going to tell you right now, I know 2 girls that will do even worse than what he would have done to you. And that's a promise.
I want to start off by saying that I did not get kicked from the tournament. I was banned on Twitch for violating TOS, saying something toxic to my friend in chat. I've said it before, but this time it was around a bunch of haters, so maybe it got spam reported, but it was just for 24 hours.
The thing about it is, I think you should have been banned from the tournament because, I'm going to be honest with you, the dude that ran the tournament, completely trash. He don't know how to run a tournament. To be honest, let's keep it real. If you're running a tournament and somebody bring you some type of evidence, but it's showing out the good look on one party, you should go to that other party to figure out what's going on. The dude, yeah, he did an apology, whatever. That's fine. But for him to just take your side without asking Kingsman other side to figure out what the whole entire argument is about, He should have done that, and to be honest, he should be held responsible for that. For not looking at both sides, he should still be held responsible. But with that being said, you should have been kicked from the tournament because you did violate terms and services of the rules of that tournament. You insulted Kingsman. It wasn't a joke. He was trying to win cash for his college funds, and you sat there like is like you didn't know it was a tournament, even though he said there's money in this and I need to make the money. You should have realized, like, wait, there's money into this. Then that's when you should have listened. It was supposed to be everybody playing um three supports in a team in a tournament. So that should have warned you, like, hey, I think we need to play three supports instead of saying, oh, they're not going to play three supports, because I think after y'all got into the tournament, everybody been playing three supports, and that's when y'all hopped on to three supports. So to keep it real with you, y'all pretty much messed up, and I'm glad y'all lost.
The issue is I can't play in the tournament while banned because if I get streamed and show up in people's streams, it counts as ban evasion. And I don't want to risk other people getting penalized for it. But it has not.
But yet Kingsman got kicked out of the tournament, and y'all was okay with that. It doesn't make sense to me. I mean, you're sitting here, you got a voice filter onto your voice. We already know how you look. So I'm trying to figure out why you're using a voice filter to make your voice sound innocent, where you're not innocent in this situation. It's kind of ridiculous to me, but do you, whatever you want to do, but still, you should be held responsible for your own actions.
Nothing to do with Basim or the tournament. The problem wasn't what he said. He didn't get kicked because he wanted his teammate to swap off Widow. It was because of the way he went about it, the tone he took, and the fact that he continued it for over an hour after being asked multiple times to stop.
Well, here's the thing. I want to say this. And I played in regionals with a team. We're going to talk about it. People that compete at a high level, they're going to talk about it. They're going to go ahead and work on it and talk about the situation. You as a captain actually failed being a captain, and if you was a captain on my team and I see you acting like this, I will lose 100% respect for what you're saying. I don't care if you say, okay, we need to do this. I'm like, no, I'm not gonna do that for you. And if you say, but I'm in the captain, I was like, are you really? Because you sat there and you chose one side, then the other side. You didn't even listen to what I have to say, and you're not adapting to the situation of of the of the plan. Captain doesn't mean that you are higher up than everybody else. What a captain's supposed to do is they're supposed to adapt. They're supposed to control, adapt, and listen to everybody and see what's the best possibility in this situation. You literally pick your friend's side, the Black Widow, and if I'm not mistaken, you don't like dudes a lot, and that's fine. You don't have to like dudes. I like girls. I do like girls, and I'm not going to sit there and insult a woman, but you sat there and there's tweets out there. I'm not going to look for it because I don't feel like going into it. I'm just speaking from what I saw from other people. You sat there and you said you hate men. So what? So you already have a bias. If I knew you hate men and you picked me up on your squad, why would I listen to someone who hate my gender that I couldn't even control when I was born? So you being a captain, I would never had a single respect, and I will never do what you're saying. So if we're in the lobby and you're like, hey Q, you need to do this. Hey Sendou, Q, you need to do that. I'm gonna be like, why? Why? You hate my gender. You already you already have a bias over towards men, and you're gonna go with the girl side. So why should I go ahead and sacrifice what I'm doing to save your behind? And that's just me keeping it real as someone who competes. You're not a leader. You're not going to be a leader. And after this, I don't think anybody's gonna look at you as a leader. And I'm saying this to you as calm as possible because I could act like a jerk and say this in your face. But I'm doing this video. If you see this video, just listen to what I'm saying. You need, if you're going to be a captain, a leader of your squad, you can't take sides. You had to make sure you listen to everybody and see what's going on. But you failed to do that. And to be honest, I will never have you as a leader.
It was making the team uncomfortable. We were all playing worse. We were distracted, and team morale was just decreasing, and it just was not effective. And we weren't the only people uncomfortable. Our own communities were raising concerns, and his chat also told him to chill out.
Now, with his tone, it's not really like a big tone. And this is where I think a lot of people fail to understand how competition work. It's like, look, when people who play sports, they're going to practice over and over and over again, but they're practicing like they're in the game. They're in there. Why you think Michael Jordan won so many championships? Because they went full on, full court press in practice, so they could go ahead and get their, get them, which call it, ready for the next game. Why you think he won 6 championships without any loss in finals? You got to understand, you have to practice like you're in the real game. It doesn't matter if somebody know how to play Widow, somebody know how to play Mantis, somebody know how to play Magic, somebody know how to play Spider-Man, Venom, all that stuff. You have to keep on practicing like you're in a true game. It doesn't matter if the team suck or the team is pro. You have to play the game like you're in the tournament. That's how you're supposed to win. And the fact that you fail to realize that this is a big important game for one player on your team, you should be like, okay, we need to play like we're in a real tournament. We cannot mess up. That's the one thing that you fail to understand. As far as a person like myself, who I will go ahead and practice over and over and over again, like I'm in a tournament, like I'm going to win that prize money and all that stuff. If I'm going to play for fun, I'm going to play for fun. That's fine. But if you're trying to win a tournament and it's a big tournament, you have to play like you're in the tournament. So when he was raising his voice a tiny bit, he was more frustrated. He's like, we need to play 3 support, or you need to switch from Black Widow to this and that and third. Y'all didn't give 2 flying cares about that situation. You failed to understand that this is a big tournament. Y'all just lollygag. And to be honest, as a competitor myself, I would have been very highly pissed how on how y'all act, because y'all didn't want to win. You didn't want to win. Your team didn't want to win. The only person that wanted to win was Kingsman. He's the one that wanted to win because he took it seriously. Y'all didn't.
So this wasn't just a snowflake scenario. I think this is what Kingsman is most upset with me about, is the green light. But I don't think he realizes how little I actually had in the decision. Boston was going to get Kingsman.
But you're the captain. You have more voice over the whole team. You should have led instead of sit there and insult King with with the Black Widow player. That's what you failed to understand. You wasn't a leader in that situation. You failed to take control. Matter of fact, Kingsman was more of a leader than you. And that's sad because he wasn't taking on a leadership role.
From the tournament, no matter what I said. Boston sent me a Discord message saying, hey, this is a
Okay, hey CeCe, when you get a chance, can we talk? It's urgent. Like in the call, I'm free right now. I can just mute. Yes, nobody should be able to hear me. And then you started a call. I think what this dude is trying to do is trying to find the evidence. And like I said, this dude should have just, instead of kicking Kingsman out, he should have looked at both sides of the party, because this is telling me that I'm happy I'm not on Twitch. Listen, if you're going to go ahead and sit there and create a tournament and there's some drama between one team, you should have sat, that dude, the Basman ZB, should have sat there and listened to both sides and see all the evidence and then make a decision on the evidence that he's seen. Now, I know he made an apology letter or apology video, and I'm not going to watch it, but he should have took more of a organizer role and look at both sides of the story, because you can have women lie, you can have men lie, but if you have the evidence, it's hard for for that person that shows you the evidence to be lying, because you could clip out certain parts and you could send it to that person and it make you look good. But if you have the full context, then that's going to be even harder to disprove.
Urgent call, are you available? And I said, okay. I muted everything on stream, picked up the phone, and this is what Boston said to me. I've been getting a lot of messages and clips about Kingsman's disrespectful behavior. He was saying disrespectful things about you guys while muted. He was saying disrespectful things about the tournament, and I'm just not going to have that. So I'm going to kick him from the tournament, okay?
See, and that's where I think I going to say that he failed to look at both sides. He should have, if he, it's like this, if he had all that evidence from, if people come by to him and saying, hey, this person did this, that, and the third, he should have just said, you know what, let me talk to Kingsman and see what's going on. Can you provide any evidence that you're not guilty? This is where I'm going to say that this is guilty until proven innocent. That's what Kingsman went through. Guilty until proven innocent instead of innocent until proven guilty. And that's messed up in that situation. So when people went to this cat, he should have did the due diligence to talk to not only you, CeCe, but also talk to Kingsman so he could get every evidence, sit there and make a logical decision. He failed to do that, and that's why, to me, he's a bad host when it comes down to tournaments, because you can't just take one side without hearing the other side.
And then I say, okay, is this confidential? Should I say anything? And he says, no, I'm going to handle it all.
And that's where I have a problem with him. He should have said, okay, I keep on getting all this information from other people. Can you please tell me the information? Can you please provide me any evidence? Where he could have did the same thing to Kingsman, and he failed to do that. He kicked Kingsman out, guilty until proven innocent, instead of innocent until proven guilty. And that's wrong in him. If I see him running a tournament, I'm going to be like, nope, you take one side over the other based on lack of evidence. Until I see evidence that you change, I will refuse to take on any of your tournament for now on. Actions speak louder than words. That's why I will believe videos if it haven't been edited. Now, if you edit a video, it already been proven that, hey, you'll manipulate the video to make you look good. I want uncut evidence. And yet people still probably believe that the uncut evidence is cut. There's people out there.
So that was the end of the conversation. The reason why I say green light was because I had the opportunity to advocate for Kingsman more. I could have been like, no, he's just really passionate. No, he's a really good player. But at the end of the day, it's Bosum's decision.
But at the same time, you could have said that, but you failed to do that. See, this is the reason why I say you are a horrible captain, and I will never follow your lead ever. Because the fact that you didn't sit there and defend Kingsman is telling me that you don't like Kingsman. You could have sat there and say it. Just because the dude say, just because he controlled the tournament doesn't mean that, hey, maybe I was in the wrong. Let me go ahead and advise, protect Kingsman, but you failed to do that. And that is one of the worst things that a captain could do. You should have been a captain, sat there and say, okay, here go the full story. Then I would have had more respect for you that you defending one of your teammates, but you didn't, because you saying he controlled the tournament. You had a golden opportunity to go ahead and defend Kingsman, but you didn't. So why would I listen to you as a captain of the squad?
He decided to kick him from the tournament because of his disrespectful behavior.
Right, because you didn't disrespect Kingsman and your friends didn't disrespect Kingsman after y'all say shut the F up and all that stuff, and y'all just laughed at him and all that stuff, because after y'all got that win, oh, congratulations, you got a win. You won the point. Oh, congratulations, whoop-de-doo. No, you failed to realize that maybe you was in the wrong, but it's whatever.
Which I agreed was disrespectful. In hindsight, maybe you should have gotten a warning. But at the end of the day, again, it's just Basim's decision. A lot of you guys are saying that it wasn't disrespectful, but if you go on for an hour after being told to stop, that's disrespectful.
No, it's not disrespectful. It's more like I want to win $40,000. So if you feel insulted by me trying to win $40,000, then I don't care. Now, if I'm not trying to make an assumption, but I'm guessing that you make $40,000 in a month. I'm just going off of it because you're on Twitch. You're probably uh, what you call it? You probably got what you call it, sponsors and stuff like that. You probably see 40,000 probably a month. And that's pretty impressive, don't get me wrong. But for someone who's in college, someone who's doing their work, someone who got bills to pay, uh, if you think I sound like an asshole from trying to win money, if me being an asshole to win $40,000 for the team, then I'm going to be an asshole because you can't handle being competitive if you can't handle me being an asshole so it can win. That's the one thing I'm trying to understand is money on the line. I'm going to sound like an asshole. Then so be it. Because guess what? At the end of the day, when we win, I want money just to sound like an asshole. But he wasn't an asshole. I could give you women that could sound like way worse assholes than what Kingsman did. Congratulations, pushing gamer girls back.
That's how it is. And you guys are saying, oh, why couldn't Zaza just swap? The issue is that she didn't need to swap. At the start of the conversation, Kingsman asks, if we go against Simi's team, what do you have for anti-dive, Bucky, blah, 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 blah. And she goes, I can play Widow. And Kingsman
Okay, because he's a competitive Marvel rival gamer. He played the game on a competitive level. Here's the thing I want to tell you, okay? When you play a certain game, you want to play over and over and over again so you could get the right formation down. It's like I want to bring this into card games. I want to bring this into bowling because I think this is important. So when it comes down to card games, you have yourself a deck, Magic, Yu-Gi-Oh, Card Fight Vanguard, whatever. You have yourself a deck. You build your deck. Like even with Digimon, you build yourself a deck. You're going to play the same deck over and over and over and over and over again in order to have it to a certain way that you can win. But then when you start losing, you're going to make some tweaks and you're going to do whatever you got to do. Like with me, when I was playing in regionals, yes, we have to have that main deck. We can't change nothing. But when I went overextend in a certain game, I was like, okay, I need to stop overextending. Then we went to top 8. Then we went to top 4. When I went to top 4, my opponent realized I was playing Royal Paladins. So his strategy was don't give me any damage so I could use it as counterblast. 6 damage, you're dead. So he stopped me. He completely destroyed my rear guards where I can't do what I want to do because I had no damage. I can't use counterblast. And with Royal Paladins, you do need to have counterblast. So my whole thing was he's getting rid of my rear guards. I got to figure out how I'm going to win. So how I was going to win is I'm just going to go brute force. So I just went in attack, went in attack, went in attack, and it ended up me winning. Now that's how my deck is run. No, but I am able to go ahead and change my whole entire strategy just to try to win the game. Unfortunately, we lost in top 4 and then we came in 3rd place. And was that the worst? That's the highest I got to, but at the same time, that was one of the I wanted to get 1st place. I didn't want to came in 2nd. I didn't want to come in 3rd, but my other 2 teammates lost. The person that went undefeated who carried us, he lost that game, which sucks. And then my other friend just lost too because he didn't know the how to play against a certain deck. So in that situation, I adapted my plan from using my counterblast into straight up brute force, trying to hit them over and over and over again. Now, when it comes down to bowling, there is house shots and there is sports shots. Now, usually when people bowl, they have themselves a whole entire arsenal just to have in different oil lanes and different type of shots. Pretty much what your friend did, Zaza, or wherever her name is, she pretty much wanted to play with a pink ball where she got a full arsenal and she wasn't hitting no pins for a full score of 0 on a house shot. And the house shot is easy to play on. That's what she basically did. She had a full ball arsenal, and she'd been using the pink ball just because it looked pretty. That basically what she did. And Kingsman was saying you need to swap because in this situation you're trash. You're trash with Black Widow, and she is so spongy. She died really quick. Now I'm going to keep it real. If I was in there and she was dying really quick, why am I healing somebody that dying super quick? I might die. So I'm not going to do that. Yeah. So no, that's basically what it is. And she failed to adapt in that situation.
Response, that's not multi anti-dive. And I follow up with, we haven't even played Seamus team yet. We're about to scrim them, but let her try Widow. You've said this multiple times already.
And this is where the competitive mindset come in. It doesn't matter if we're not playing against the team that we're supposed to play against or not. We're practicing so we know what to do in that situation. That's where a lot of people saying you haven't practiced. I mean, you're not practicing to win, you're practicing for vibes. That's where when you're playing competitively, you're supposed to play every single team like you going against a top tier team. It doesn't matter if they suck, it doesn't matter if they're good. You got to play against every single team like you're playing against a top tier team, and you're about to go into a tournament. That's where a lot of people is trying to tell you. Y'all, what you did and your whole team did is y'all basically playing for fun, where Kingsman was trying to play as competing. And that's where both you and your team fell at. And that's where you don't understand. You should have played against the other team like you're playing to win $40,000.
Just let her try Widow. And then he proceeds to argue more. And we go on to the next map and you argue more. And then we go on to the next map and argue more. And during this time, I'm telling him to chill. I say, chill, drop the topic, chill.
No, because here's the thing that you're failing to understand. This is a time where we need to get, like, if I'm on your squad, this is the time where we need to play everybody like we're playing for $40,000. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. We need to play where it's $40,000. Now, don't get me wrong. In Marvel Rivals, I'm a one-trick pony. I'm always going to be a Mantis player, and if I play somebody else, I'm going to die. I'm just going to keep it real. Mantis just remind me of Ying in Paladins. Now, when it comes down to it, if I need to play another player, I could play another player. I'm going to suck booty cheeks, but I'm going to play another player. Now, if I'm not mistaken, the Black Widow had multiple players that she could play with. If I'm not mistaken, she had Phoenix. Why she didn't switch to Phoenix? Because there's a video out there where she was missing all her shots and she was dying. Should have switched to Phoenix, but you want to play for vibes instead of play like you're playing against other people. And if I'm not mistaken, when y'all got into the tournament, and y'all say that there's not going to be no 3 healers or 3 supports. You found out in the tournament there were 3 supports, and y'all translate to 3 supports. See, if y'all got the practice before, y'all could have done a lot better, but you didn't, and you failed to do that. And you know what? It's funny to me because he sat there and told you, and y'all push it to the side, and then when y'all realize, y'all lost.
Let her try Widow. That's the whole premise of it. And then we get to the infamous game where she's 0-5. I want you guys to understand, she was gonna go 0-5 no matter what she played.
So why did she didn't switch to a supporter so she could get more support? Like, I think I was playing with Gara the Rage, and don't get me wrong, I'm not a great player when it comes down to Marvel Rivals. Don't get me wrong, I did play Mantis. I went to healer. I was like, hey, I want to keep it real. I'm not great at the game. I'll play healer. Okay. First game, we kind of lost, but I did pretty good as a healer. But then the Infinites, I didn't die, but I healed Gara because he was a tank. He was being the tank. And I was trying to heal everybody on the team. We did have another healer. He was doing a good job too. But I did 2 deaths. I did 2 kills, 0 death, and 42 assists. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying I'm great at the game. But to me, when I saw that 42 assists, that means I did my job. And my heals was like over figures, and that's amazing. So the fact that she had 5 deaths with no assists and no kills is telling me that she needs to switch over. That's the time she needs to switch over, because guess what? She's dying, and I will keep it real. As a support main, if I'm trying to heal somebody and they still dying, I'm going to stop healing you, because you cannot stay alive for me to do my job. I'm just going to heal somebody else that could do a better job.
Why? Because Kingsman was breathing down her neck, in her ear, for the last 30 minutes. She wasn't focused, she wasn't locked in, she wasn't going to play well no matter what she played. So you guys are like, that was her game. That was her game to show off. That was.
But the thing about it is, you would not know unless she swapped to a different character, and that's the logic that you fail to understand. Just because you suck with one player, like Maeve and Paladins, right? I wanted to play Maeve so much, right? I am terrible with Maeve. Like, I got all skins with her. I'm terrible with Maeve, right? And in that game, I can't switch to a different character. I just had to get cards so I could go ahead and swap it. I'm terrible with Maeve. But then when I went to Ying, I'm a lot better as a supporter being the Ying. So I stopped playing Maeve and I went as Ying. And if I want to play Maeve, I could go ahead and go to play against bots and stuff. But when I play competitive, I go to Ying. That's the same thing. If I'm sucking with Squirrel Girl because I like Squirrel Girl, but I suck with Squirrel Girl, why would I not switch to a different character that I'm actually good with? Because that will change the whole entire ability to play in the game.
That was her chance to prove that it worked. No, it wasn't. Because during that time, Kingsman was still down her ear. We finish that map and we go into the next game and we're still arguing about it. At that point, I have to put my foot down as a captain.
But at the same time, you're not being the captain. You should have done that ahead of time. The fact that you failed to look at this and you chose the girl side, Zaza, whatever her name is telling me that you lack captain abilities. And I would never have respect for you as a captain. Matter of fact, as a teammate, I will not have respect for you, because you sat there and you let your leadership take one side instead of looking at the whole entire play. And that's where I think that you need to not be a captain at all.
And yes, I told him to STFU. But you have to understand, this is after an hour of dragging this conversation on, an hour of me asking him to drop this topic, an hour of just continuous arguing in the team. Yes, I finally told him to STFU. And
So let me ask you a question. If $40,000 make you want to play with vibes, what about $10 million? Are you still going to play with vibes, or are you going to play with a purpose? Is it the money, the price of the money thing is different? Like, that if it was like $10,000, $10 million compared to 40K, like, does that matter? Does the vibe matter when it's not 40K but 10 mil? Like, where does it, where's the minimum cash balance it is for you to be more competitive? Like, I don't think you cared about the 40 mil, because it's split up four and then it's split up 6 ways and each player get 3 mil. 3,000. Is it the fact that you gotta play like for $10 million and it's split out and everybody get at least minimum a mil? Like, please tell me where it starts and where it ends. Because telling you the truth, 40 mil, like $3,000, 3K will pay for like mortgage and food and stuff for a whole month. Like, that's a lot of money.
after that, we won that map with Zaza on Widow. And then finally, the next game, Zaza's able to focus and shoot back.
Okay, let me see, Zaza. 38, 10, and 10. It's no 46 compared to hits cans, but it's whatever. Oh, look like King left. Look like King left. Okay, so here's the thing. Just because you had a good matchup that one game, is the fact that she couldn't adapt. So the thing about it is, yeah, she had a good game here, right? She had a good game, but it's not about having a good game and not turning on the focus, because she should have had focus back in the original game. It's the fact that she can't adapt by switching, like, oh, I'm not getting no kills with Black Widow. Let me switch over to Phoenix and see if it's a difference. Just because you didn't get any kills with Black Widow and you died 5 times doesn't mean you're going to get that with Phoenix. It doesn't matter. You're going to get it. It doesn't seem like you're going to get that with Mantis. We don't know unless she plays, and this is where I think she failed. And your whole entire mindset is not going to understand. Because she didn't switch, we will never know. But it's the fact that Zaza cannot switch in a certain situation is a liability when we trying to win for 40K. That's where you fail to understand. If she could have switched, everything could have went down the drain. But it's telling me that she is incapable of switching to another player because you're getting wrecked by everybody else. And not to mention, she was missing her shots. So that's where a lot of people is trying to tell you. You're not seeing the fact that she cannot switch to a different character. It's not like Paladins where you're going to stay with one person, but you get cards that will change the whole entire play style from that character. It's the fact that if you cannot switch and realize that you haven't gotten any kills, then we are basically down a person. And that's where you fail to realize that.
Because no one is down her ear anymore. No one is complaining about the Black Widow pick. She plays so well, at one point, Snakeface swaps off of Venom and goes Magneto. And then by the end of the game, she's MVP.
So you hear that. Let's rewind it real quick. Let's rewind it real quick. Listen to this one more time. And if you're watching CeCe, just listen.
Zaza is able to focus and shoot back. Because no one is down her ear anymore. No one is complaining about the Black Widow pick. She plays so well, at one point, Snakeface swaps off of Venom and goes Magneto.
She was doing so well that Snake swapped from Venom to be Magneto. Let me tell you how this happens. The Venom player realized that Zaza was doing very well with Black Widow. That person literally swapped from Venom to Magneto, meaning they realized she was on a roll, and they was like, you know what? I could switch to a different character to help Black Widow. But Black Widow didn't switch when she was 0-5. The people that swapped to help out Black Widow is a better player than Black Widow, Zaza, because she cannot switch to adapt in that situation where the Venom switch to Magneto is adapting to that situation. That's the part that you fail to understand. And you sit there and say, well, she did good. Yeah, to a point where good people is switching to a different character to help the Black Widow, where Zaza couldn't switch from Black Widow to help the team out. Just because she did good with Black Widow that game is not really helping out the team compared to that Venom switching over to Magneto. That's the part that you failing to understand. And for you to be a captain, you're only praising that one person compared to you looking at the whole entire site of the game.
And then by the end of the game, she's MVP. I know some of you guys are like, well, we can't look at stats. Like, looking at the scoreboard is bad. But this isn't about Marvel Rivals. It's about human interaction, relationships, and how you interact with each other, how you communicate with each other.
Yeah, but you failed to communicate with the Zaza at that point. You failed to communicate. You the one that insulted your teammate, where you're a bad leader. You failed to realize in that game, Black Widow was a sponge, was a good target to attack, because being down one person is a lot of it is easier for the other team than 6 people and they're doing good. You fail to realize people will switch if that person was good. The reason why she got MVP is because her teammates swapped to a different character to help because she was on a roll. But that Black Widow failed to realize that when Kingsman was carrying the whole team. Your whole team failed to realize that Kingsman needed help and y'all could have swapped over because guess what? There's money on the line. And to be honest, that's the part that you failed to understand. You'll never understand that because you're not a competitive player. Let's keep it real. Because a competitive player will go ahead and swap to a different character to help King when he was on a roll.
The first day I met Kingsman was draft day. He told me to join a call. I joined, and the first thing he did was question whether I was ready for the draft. He was judging who I was picking. And then he questioned Zaza's Black Widow if she could play something else, start on something else, before the scrims even start. The first day of scrims was super chill.
The reason why is because he don't want to lose. I'll do the same thing. I don't want to lose. Okay, if I'm new to the game, I'll be like this. So check this out. Black Widow is trash in the game. She's the worst character in the whole entire game. Can you play a different character? And the fact that you said no, let her play whatever she wants, is telling me that you don't care about the tournament. And with me, I'll be like, okay, if that's the case, I would like to be traded.
We're not running triple support, Zaza's on Black Widow, and we're playing against Iron Fist, Magic, Penny Parker. We don't do bad. Like, yes, we didn't win every single one of those maps, but I wasn't concerned about whether we were going to win or not. It was
What's that one dude from the Jets, the coach from the Jets? We play, what is it? We play to win the game. We play to win the game. I don't care how good the scoreboard is. We play to win the game. We play to win the game. I don't care what the scoreboard is. I don't care if the Black Widow got 20 kills. I don't care if in this game. I don't care if the Black Widow got 28 kills in this game. I don't care if the Black Widow got what's this kill? Black Widow 19 kills. You didn't win the game. You played to win the game. I don't care. You play to win the game. That's it. If you didn't win, because check this out. Yeah, this person's getting no kills, but he got 34 assists with 7 deaths. And guess what? They won. He was a healer. Let's see. Gambit. I didn't know Gambit was in game. That's actually pretty cool. He's a healer. He got 6 kills, 6 deaths. He died 6 times, but 40 heals. And if you look, 34,000 heals with 14 close to 15 hills. Yeah, they lost, but 34 heals. I'm proud of that. And if you look down here, let's see who. Oh, snaps. Even Cloak and Gather got 15 kills, 39. She did a pretty good job when it came down to healing, 17, and then Gambit with 22. So it doesn't matter if you doing a better job in kills, y'all still lost. And you play to win the game. I don't care if the person is like, oh, we did a good job. No, we lost. It doesn't matter.
First day of playing with each other. The second day of playing with each other, the first thing I hear coming out of Kingsman's mouth is, we have to run triple support. Like, that's it. We have to. And
because you know the meta.
I was arguing. I said, not every team is going to walk out on triple support. Anyways, we go on, and then he brings up the point of Simi's team and Black Widow. The only time that we talked to Kingsman was in the start of the scrims and when he was demanding stuff out of us. And that's why I say it's not a Marvel Rivals thing. It's about multiple days where he's just telling us to do something. And that's our only impression of King.
Because you're not being a captain. You're not being a captain, okay? You're not being a captain. You're sitting here. You got your what is it VTuber out here, and you making your voice lower because you're trying to make yourself a good point, but you're make yourself a victim, make yourself lower, innocent like that. But yet you sitting here telling us that you cannot sit there and manage a team. I'm keeping 100% real. You're not managing a team. You're not being a leader. You're not being a captain. You're sitting there, yeah, we got these points, but if the points don't lead to wins, then there's a problem. He know the meta. And like I said, people out there who's playing in a tournament is running triple support and they wreck you. And then y'all switch over to triple support. So technically he's right and y'all failing.
Kingsman other than the fact that he's good at the video game. From day one, I told Kingsman, rule number 1, don't tilt my team, and rule number 2, don't bring the vibes down on the team, because we're going.
If I join a team and they talk about vibes, I'm leaving. I'm leaving because y'all don't care about winning. Y'all don't care about the win.
To lose. A lot of you guys are underestimating how important vibes are in a team scenario.
Here's the thing, when there's money on the line, I don't care about your vibes. If you feel so assaulted by that, I don't really care. I want to win money.
At the highest level of competitive esports, tier 1 esports, you will get booted from a team simply because your team doesn't like you.
So the fact that you didn't like your team and the fact that you insulted people and kind of like didn't give the organization evidence of the toxicity on your squad, should y'all get kicked out?
Even if you're performing, even if you're doing well, if the team synergy isn't there, you're not coming back for another season.
Look, when you got a whole bunch of people who compete on a team, I'm going to tell you right now, if you have a whole bunch of people that competing on the team, then it doesn't matter about the synergy. It's a matter about, can you get the win?
This plays a part in why I didn't advocate for Kingsman when Bossum said he was going to kick him. Kingsman already showed that he wasn't going to listen to the rules I set on day 1, and so when Bossum said he was going to kick him for being disrespectful, I had no argument.
So you could have had the evidence to show Bosman, I think that's what the person named, you had the chance to show him the evidence, but you failed to show him the evidence. That's something that I just don't understand. You didn't show him the evidence. And you had the chance to do it. And this is the reason why I think he should have talked to Kingsman so he could have got more evidence so he could realize who's being toxic or not.
A lot of you guys were asking why I even drafted Kingsman in the first place if I didn't want to be competitive. I wanted to be competitive. Like, I wanted to win.
Here's the thing. I doubt that because how you treated him and the fact that you could have listened to a diamond player.
Out of all the captains, think I spent the most time looking up graders and deciding who I want in my comp. I knew a little about Kingsman before. I knew he was a good DPS player. In the clip, I said I was.
DPS, like my chair. Hold up. Like my chair, DPS. Like, hold on. Let me spin it around. DPS, damage per second. Like my chair. Speaking of, this is a chair from Amazon, and it's actually really, really comfortable. For like $130, got some good padding on the seat. You know, headrest is fine. I think the mechanism for the headrest is plastic, which I don't like. I'm not going to complain about $130. Chair is actually really comfortable. It got hot, it get high, low. It doesn't have like a 3D or 4D rest, but you got back support that kind of moves with your back. So lumbar support is actually pretty good. It leans back pretty good. It's actually pretty comfortable on the buttocks. Other than that, I think the chair is comfortable, especially from Costco. This is actually a really comfortable chair. I have no complaints. I think I had this chair for about 2 months. Really comfortable.
Was going off the spreadsheet and I didn't really know him, and it was because people in the chat glazed him. That was Clip Farm. I said people were glazing Kingsman because I thought it would be a sweet thing.
But the thing about it is, when you try to win 40K, I don't want to hear any glaze. I just want to win the game.
It's nice to have viewers glazing you in other communities' chat. It's nice to think that your community really fucks with you. But
okay, so let me ask you a question. If and I'm not here trying to be sexist or anything like that because I'm not. If somebody say, "Hey, you should be in the kitchen," should you feel insulted or you should feel like you've been glazed? No, you feel insulted, and I think you should feel insulted because that's one of the horrible things you as a woman should be going through. But insulting Kingsman, shut the f up, stuff like that. You don't think, and then you have your community going to attack him, and he trying to win money for college. You think that's glazing? Okay, if somebody say, yeah, you need to stay in the kitchen, which you shouldn't, and that's horrible, then take that as glazing.
At the end of the day, it was mostly the spreadsheet. On paper, it says that Kingsman is one above all, and he plays Magic, Bucky, Storm, Punisher, Doctor Strange, and that he loves competition. And he also says that he will try to ally GL and make sure we win. All great things.
Yeah, because he carried the crap out of you, but he thought that with how skilled, I don't know if he's skilled or not, but people is actually checking out Zaza, and you got professional Black Widow players saying, "Oh yeah, she's literally trash." The fact that she couldn't switch over is telling me that she can't really play competitive. Let's keep it 100% real.
Or does it say in the sheet that he loves competition so much, he will criticize my teammate for over an hour to swap?
That's literally competition. That's literally competition, because here's the thing. I don't know if you know about people who compete. They're going to stay on a topic for a very long time. Like when we first lost our first game, like not us as a collect, because it was my friend and I lost, and then you have to do that one, right? He was like, "Hey, if we lose this one, we're out of the tournament. We just can't lose. If you lose this one, we're out of the tournament. We just can't lose. If you lose this one." And let me tell you how long that lasts. 8 hours straight. 8 hours straight of listening to, if you lose this one, we lose the whole tournament. We lose this one, we lose the whole tournament. We lose this one, we lose the whole tournament. 8 hours straight. Do you realize how long 8 hours straight of hearing, if we lose this one, we lose the whole tournament? That is crazy. And you complain about an hour? Yeah, that's what competitive people going to do. And if you don't feel confident about that, then you know nothing about competitiveness.
The only way I could have known that he was going to micromanage the team was if I asked other creators opinions of him. But I would have had to do that for everyone in this tournament, and I just don't have the time. But when I met him, I told my chat, I was like, I fuck with that. Like, I fuck with someone that's competitive. That's fine. I'll make do with it. Like, we can work this out.
You sure about that? Because it seems like you got your feelings hurt.
Everyone signed up for the tournament. No one knew it was going to have a prize pool. No one knew it was going to have $40,000. All it said.
I think I doubt that you knew that you didn't know that, because if I'm not mistaken, you made a TikTok. I'm not on TikTok, so I'm not sure that you're going for a 40K tournament and you're the captain. So I think you knew, but I think that you're trying to push this under the rug.
It was Creator Cup. Boston wanted to surprise us. So every single person that agreed to play in the tournament knew that it was a creator-focused tournament, and that there was going to be over 50% of the players were going to be win tricks. That's
I don't know. When I hear 40K, I automatically think like either Warhammer 40K or 40K $4,000. I bet $40,000. That's automatically in my head when I hear 4K.
That's what everyone should have been prepared for. When I call Kingsman a meta slave, I know he plays Magic, and I know Magic isn't meta. The reason.
Here's the thing. It's the difference between meta and knowing how to play with a certain character despite on the meta. When Black Widow, if you're a good Black Widow or a Black Widower or a Black Widow main, I don't know how you're going to say it. It doesn't matter what map you're on. You're going to get buckets. I'm sorry, kills. You only get kills in buckets, okay? Either assists or kills. You're going to get kills in buckets. But if you're playing meta, then you're not going to get kills in bucket, because let's say you playing Black Widow for fun, but then when it comes down to playing meta, you're stuck with Black Widow. Then switch. But if you're good with Black Widow on every single map and you can get multiple kills without dying with Black Widow, then that's fine too. Then it would be like, okay, this Black Widow is actually really good despite on what meta is. If you're good with a character and you're like really, really good, despite on the meta, you're going to play with that character. Kingsman is really good with Magic. Despite the meta, he's going to get buckets with with magic. Black Widow, on the other hand, she didn't get buckets. She got no buckets. She's what's that one cat? What's that one cat? Oh man, I forgot. Uh Snell in NBA played for the Milwaukee Bucks. He was in the game for like 25 minutes and he didn't clock in a single stats during the basketball game.
Why I called him a meta slave was because the first conversation we ever even had was that he wanted the triple support. Then the second day of scrims, his first conversation with me was that he wants us to run triple support. And then
this is a person who played this game very well and know the meta, is trying to tell you, the captain, we need to play the triple support. Now what's your answer to that?
then the conversation came to Peel. He wanted the perfect counter to Hulk, Venom, Spider-Man with Bucky. And he was very adamant about that.
Because if I'm not mistaken, Bucky is actually really good against those characters. I'm not sure. Don't quote me. Again, I'm just a Mantis main.
He didn't want to even try playing Black Widow or anything else. He just wanted the Bucky. And that's why I called him a meta slave, because we were arguing for multiple maps about the same thing about meta. He wants to play meta because he thinks the only way that we can win is meta.
Yeah, because everybody else playing meta. Everybody else playing meta. Hey, listen, Kingsman, if you want me to play, I'll play a support. I'll love to play Mantis if you want me to. Am I good with Mantis? No. But can I heal the ever-living crap out of people? Yes.
So I call him a slave to that meta. And you guys like to talk about compromise, like why didn't Zaza compromise? And Kingsman himself said that he would play Mantis. I know he only said that out of spite because...
But the thing about it is the fact that he'll switch is telling me that he'll work with the team.
We were in an argument and it's just like, here, take it. Like, it was a give me. I don't want him to do something he doesn't want to do. The same reason why I want Zaza to just play Black Widow.
When LeBron James went over to the Heat with Chris Bosh was a 20-10 monster in Toronto. A 20-10 monster in Toronto. When he went over to Miami, Chris Bosh and LeBron James went to Miami. Chris Bosh really had to change his whole entire game in order to fit LeBron. Do you think that was fair for Chris Bosh? No, it's not fair for Chris Bosh. But guess what? Chris Bosh won 2 NBA championships. When LeBron James went, and I'm not a LeBron James fan, but I'm just giving you an example. When LeBron James went over to Cleveland after Miami, there was Kyrie, and he wanted Kevin Love. Now, if you don't know, Kevin Love played for the Timberwolves, and he was a 20-10 monster, getting 20 points, 10 assists. 20 points, 10 rebounds. I remember I was playing NBA fantasy draft, and I picked Kevin Love as my power forward / center, and he was like number 1, maybe number 2 on the list. So he was like behind Al Jefferson during the NBA as a center. I picked both of them up because I wanted to win, and I won that year. Kevin Love went over to Cleveland, and this before Kevin Love. I won before Kevin Love went to Cleveland. Kevin Love went over to Cleveland, and he actually changed his game to be a 3-point specialist. So he changed his game? I don't think so. I think he would have been a monster in the paint, but he won a ring by changing his whole game to be a 3-point specialist. It ruined. I think Chris Bosh and Kevin Love's career was ruined with LeBron, but they sacrificed for a ring. So explain that to me.
So I don't want to force her to do something she doesn't want to do. Kingsman called her a hit scan flex, but the reality is she is a Widow OTP that can play Punisher and Hela Phoenix.
So why she didn't switch to Punisher?
Another analogy is if someone says, I main Emma Frost, but I can play a Rocket or Luna Snow, that doesn't make them a strategist main. It's the same thing. Just because...
No, if I'm a Mantis main, but I also could play Spider-Man and Hulk, If I'm sucking with Mantis, I need to switch over to Spider-Man or Hulk. I can't play Hulk or Spider-Man, but that's a example I'm putting out there. That means if you suck with one player, if you suck with your main, you need to switch over to the other ones.
She can play 3 characters out of the whole pool doesn't make her a hit scan flex. Like, she has told Kingsman that she is an OTP. She's not a hit scan flex. Not once did the words hit scan flex ever come out of her mouth. She told Kingsman that she's an OTP. She never promised Hella Phoenix, like none of that. She never promised. She said she could do it. It wasn't promised.
We know it's not promised. We know it's not promised. But at this situation, when you're losing with one character, you need to switch. I don't care who you switch to, just switch.
And at the end of the day, you can be like, oh, why wouldn't she? Like, she spent an hour not swapping. Why is she not kicked from the tournament?
What's funny is you sit here showing up the rules and conditions where you could have just followed the same thing, but you didn't.
Because that's not against the rules. You choosing not to swap from one character isn't going to break any rules. But if you berate someone for an hour, that breaks the rules. It's not allowed.
So you insulting Kingsman, you should get a pass because that's what you did. But then when he was concerned about trying to win, that's what y'all call like insultment.
That's why Kingsman was booted out and not Zaza or anyone else. Yes, I did read out the chat. Because when I'm looking to my right, I'm reading chat that called him a loser. And then I repeated it. I shouldn't have read out that chat because it was disrespectful.
Yeah, so you should have got kicked out.
That's very hypocritical of me for to say that about Kingsman and then say that aloud. That's on me. But I will double down and say replace the term loser with being disrespectful.
Calling somebody a loser is disrespectful. So should I call you a Karen? Is that disrespectful? It is. So why is that disrespectful if loser is not?
With asshole or rude. And that's my point. I don't think Kingsman's a loser. I think he's a good player who just wants to win. I think...
No shit.
I said that because Kingsman was being a loser. You just criticized and demoralized my teammate for an hour, repeatedly ignoring our mentions to stop. Like, that's loser behavior.
Okay, so that's not assault. You're telling me that that's not assault. You calling him a loser, you should have get kicked out of the tournament. Let's keep it real. Let's keep that same energy. Let's keep that same energy. Let's keep it. Let's keep that same energy. You calling him a loser? Let's keep it. That's an insult.
You're being a loser for that. And I'm going to say it again. If you make someone sad for an hour, despite people telling you to stop, that's being a loser.
Let's keep it real. If it wasn't for my teammate saying if we lose this game, we lose the whole thing over and over and over again, that it got kind of annoying, I don't think we would have went to 3rd place in regionals for 8 hours.
And none of you guys in the chats could even you guys were trying to justify that. There's no justification for being an asshole. That's just what that was.
So y'all was being assholes. Y'all was being assholes. Let's keep it real. Y'all was being assholes towards Kingsman. Let's keep it 100% real. Y'all was being assholes because y'all sat there, insult him, getting on him, teaming up on him, and he was just trying to win the game.
So it wasn't a personal attack on Kingsman. If Kingsman brought up the boss and be like, yo, this was a personal attack on me, I would have argued. I was like, no, that's not a personal attack. That's just facts. That's what he was. He was being a loser because he wouldn't let the topic drop.
Y'all can't tell. So you telling me that you can't take criticism? He wanted to win the game. You play to win the game.
As team captain, I do have a responsibility to cater to all the needs of my teammates, which is why I'm taking accountability for the fact that I could have handled it way better. I didn't have to snap at him. I shouldn't have told him to shut up. I shouldn't have told him to shut the F up. I wanted Kingsman to voice his concerns and his wants and things with the team, but once it got to a disruptive point, I should have just told him, all right, you know what? Like, for this game, let's let Zaza just try Widow, and if it doesn't really work, then we can. And you're really adamant about it. Let's just let her. Like, we can try Bucky or.
So here's the thing, okay? Here's the thing. She should swap. She tried it, didn't get a kill, swap. Not for a whole game, but as soon as you didn't get a kill, swap to a different character. Or if you didn't get the assist, swap to a different character. Because I do play Mantis, and me not healing anybody and dying, I'll be like, you know what? I'm about to swap. That's one thing that you fail to understand. But of course, you're not a great captain, and I would never listen to you. If you told me to swap from Mantis to something else, I'd be like, nah, you don't tell me what to do because it seems like you're a trash captain.
Another character. And I agree, my communication was bad because of that. And then also, in hindsight, maybe a warning would have been better and not a full kick. But at the end of the day, that's Basim's decision because it's his tourney.
But the thing about it, you even said in this video that you could have gave the evidence, but you failed to do it. So technically, he sat there, asked for the evidence because a lot of people is saying from other sides he wanted to get the evidence, but you failed to even defend him where he gave you a chance. He's like, I could kick him, but what you think? You didn't. You failed to do that. So to be honest, no, you wouldn't. No, you wouldn't.
He invited Kingsman to play, and he can easily take him out if he wants to. I also want to say, in Basim's defense, Basim has a list of so many creators ready to sub in. So saying, oh, it's kind of weird how Moxie was able to sub in within 5 minutes, no.
Even he is not a great organizer because he could have sat there, he could have asked for the evidence from you and asked for the evidence from Kingsman, and he could have made a decision based off the evidence. The fact that he failed to do that is telling me that he will take one side over the other, and he's just a bad host when it comes down to that. So let's keep it real. He did apologize, which fair, but at the same time, you failed to do that until he showed me that he could grow and take and look at the evidence before you take any side. I don't trust him as being a organizer.
Oh, he was just ready. He just has a list. The same way that I got replaced because I couldn't play in the tournament on Sunday within the hour. So don't disrespect Basim like that.
So here's the thing. He got rid of you after he got the backlash of not seeing the evidence. So the thing about it is you could have nipped that in the bud to give him the evidence when he did ask for it, but you failed to do that. But when he found out that you did it, he kicked you out. So the fact that you could have told him right away could have been more of a mature option that you could have took, but you failed to do that. And you didn't. You wanted to play in the tournament because of the money, but you failed to do that. Let's keep it 100% real.
That's crazy. And to address the whole bullying a kid thing, I don't really consider you a kid at 20. I did call you a kid when I drafted you and we had our conversation, but that was definitely as a joke because people call me old.
Oh my gosh. Look, I'm 39. I'm 39. I'm not going to sit there and insult you. I'm going to criticize you, don't get me wrong. I'm not going to sit here and insult you. I'm not going to sit here and do all of that. I'm just giving you criticism of you being one of the worst captains I ever saw. The fact that you call him a kid is telling me that you already don't respect him as a human being. I think you're looking at his gender over being a human. And it already been proven that you don't like men. Okay? The tweets and stuff that you deleted, because I'm not going to look for it. I know people posted up that say that you said that. I'm not going to sit there and look for it, but I'm just going by what other people say. Just like, you didn't tell the dude any evidence of not kicking Kingsman out. So I'm just doing what you're doing. Just because you're older than him doesn't mean that you're more mature than him. It doesn't. Just because you got more numbers on your birthday than him doesn't fit that you're mature or this, that, and the third. Okay? You're just, to be honest, it sounds like you're more childish than Kingsman.
And I don't think it was bullying because, to be honest, we were just defending Zaza. You were on.
But you didn't defend Kingsman. You're the bad leader.
On her case for an hour. She already said no, and you wouldn't take no for an answer.
Okay, if that's the case, then y'all could go ahead and play and watch y'all lose, and then y'all going to realize, how come we didn't win the 40K? Oh, we should listen to Kingsman, someone who actually played the game.
And so we told you to drop it. Like it was self-inflicted that the conversation kept going because we didn't want this conversation to keep going. Before I play the clip that Kingsman left out and you hear the voice of reason from Entei, I want to say that no one on my team hates him. I don't hate him. And I've said this multiple times. I think Kingsman is a good player. I respect his mentality and I fuck with him wanting to win. But I was not the reason he got booted. It was his own actions and behavior that other chatters and viewers and ultimately Basm did not like. I'm not asking for an apology. I'm hoping that by the end of this video, Kingsman understands the team perspective more and sees that like I'm taking accountability. I'm not the perfect person. I could have navigated it better. Kingsman might still be in the tournament if I said something different. Or
the thing about it is that you fail to when Bazite asks about I'm about to kick him out, but please, if you have anything, let me know. You failed to give any evidence. You said that in this video. And to be honest, you could have done that right then and there. I think you would have got more respect if you did that, but you failed to do it because you don't want him on the squad. Let's keep it 100% real.
Kingsman might be in the tournament if he did something different. This isn't black and white. Like, it's not about Marvel Rivals. It's not about Zaza not swapping, and it's not about you trying super hard to win the money. It's about human relationships.
Oh no, it's not only about human relationship that you literally don't have none. It's also about the money. I don't care about your feelings. I don't care about your personality. If you're on my squad and you fail to be a great captain, I'm not going to respect you. I'm not. Just because you say, oh, I'm older, give me respect. No. That's older generation type of situation. If an older generation say, oh, you got to show me respect because I'm older, but yet you're wrong, then why should I show you respect? It doesn't matter. I don't care. If you're not going to sit there being a leader, then I'm not going to respect you. I want to sit there and I'm going to be like, why should I switch if you tell me to switch? I don't respect you. Your numbers shows that there's no respect there.
And just having more respect for the person you're demanding something out of and going about it a different way. Because it's not effective demanding something out of your teammates that you've just met consistently even after they've told you no.
If I want to win the game, I'm going to tell you I want to win the game. And look, y'all didn't win. So he was right. Y'all switch over to three. What I heard is y'all switch over to three supports, like he said, but y'all failed to understand that. Y'all don't want to take the accountability.
Kingsman, what I'm trying to get you to understand,
even
though,
in these
is that,
scenarios,
listen,
I am not.
listen, it's not just Zaza that you're affecting in this. It's also affecting CeCe and your entire team synergy, because you're complaining about a comp that
Yeah,
they
but we
clearly
were
don't want to run.
synergized. We still
Okay,
synergized.
fine.
We had a
Then you
game.
drop it. Then you drop
Exactly.
it. Then you
exactly.
drop it.
Exactly.
Bro.
I didn't say anything on the last game. I didn't even say anything.
But
I
you
just left the
did.
tournament.
You
I played
did,
ranked.
though. You said enough, bro. Dog.
Oh my gosh. I don't want the dude that's getting on Kingsman on my squad because he's sitting here. If here's the thing, if you say he needs to drop it, why are you still talking about it? Why are you still talking about it? If you say drop it, why are you still talking about it?
Listen, I'm trying to help you. You did say a lot, man. You said a lot. And like I said, I'm going to be there for you, because you getting kicked out the tournament is stupid. I get it. But you were overstepping. You were overstepping the...
Homie, if somebody gonna tell me to shut the F up and all this stuff and go ahead and insult me and everything, and I got a point to prove, I'm going to be vocal about it. And if you don't like that, then I don't need you on my team either.
the entire time. So you can't get mad when all the overstepping that you have done for the past several days.
Several days, brother.
Results in
We've had
consequence, bro.
1 day of scrims after a draft. That was it.
Kingsman,
What do you mean
realize,
several
Kingsman,
days?
Kingsman, listen, aside from what rumors may told you,
Dude, going to keep it real, man. I never want to see you in a competitive match at all, because energy, vibes. The only vibe I care about is the hammer Arctic vibes, or the bubblegum vibe for bowling. I don't care about your vibes. If you don't care about it, then who cares?
I had known from like because I was in everybody's chat. I'm a viewer. You were crashing out about the team from the moment stuff happened.
Dude, he wasn't crashing out. He was not crashing out. You're crashing out now. He was not crashing out. He was trying to play, but he was trying to tell them. Like, he make like Kingsman make a great leader, because he sit there, he talk to people, and he's sitting there and say, hey, this is not going to work. He know the meta. If somebody know the game better than anybody else, you sit there and listen. It doesn't matter if they're rude or nice about it. You sit there and listen.
You're crashing out about stuff from the moment you got drafted. All right?
What?
I'm trying to help you out. You were overstepping. You were overstepping more than you realize, bro.
Okay, man. Listen, I just wanted a positive tourney experience, and it's clear that that's not allowed with competitive integrity. So,
oh my gosh. I got mad about that. I'm not gonna lie. I got mad about that. That's annoying. King, I'm with you. Kingsman, I'm with you. This is crazy. Whoa. Whoa. CeCe ? I don't like black people. Oh. 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 Look, I don't care about my skin color. I'm a human being, but damn. Anyways, what you guys think? Just let me know. I think she tried to defend herself and it fails 100%. And I don't have. Look, if you say you're sorry, you're sorry. I don't care. But again, it's kind of hard to believe if you're making a video like this. Anyways, hope everybody enjoyed yourself. And remember, everybody's human. My name's Sendou. You have yourself a great day. Peace.